guys, it's Sarah and it's the end of July, which means it's time for another wrap-up video. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Also, I have an August TBR too. I usually don't do TBR videos, but I have an August one and I'm really excited to share that with you. This is my July wrap-up. Let's cut to it. The first book that I read this month was Sweet Dreams by Chris and Ashley. This is, of course, another reread for me. I've reread this book twice already, I think. Well, I've read it twice and then this will be my third time reading it. You just have to know that I really like it. It's really good. It's an adult romance and it's just amazing. But I read it because I was way too excited for her new book that was coming out that was coming out July 8th, and that flows right into the next book that I read this month, which was The Promise by Chris and Ashley. This is the 5th book in the Berg series, which is a series set in Indiana, and I love it so much. It's such a great series, such great characters, so amazing. I love Chris and Ashley, and Frankie and Benny are my life. I love them to death. But yeah, so that was my Chris and Ashley novels. The next book that I read was a graphic novel, and that is Saga 3 by Kurt Vaughn, Brian K. Vaughan, and Fiona Staples. This is the obviously the 3rd volume in the Saga series, and it's amazing. If you've not picked up this graphic novel series, please do. It is so good. I filmed a review on all 3 of these graphic novels, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted. It was just me gushing, so I just, oh my god. Oh my god. It smells so good. I just didn't edit it because it was just me like, oh, I love this series so much, you need to pick it up. This is why I love it, because it's amazing, and this is amazing, and this is amazing. So I didn't upload it. But I really did enjoy this series. It was really cool. I've never read a graphic novel series before, and I started with the Saga series, which was the best thing ever. So just so you know. Just so you know, I loved it. I don't know. We're just gonna put them there. Next book that I read was another adult romance, and this is actually a historical fiction romance. It could be considered that. And it is Truce by R.L. Mathewson. And R.L. Mathewson is a self-published author. Well, she was self-published when I first found her books. I don't keep up on that as much as I used to. Anyways, self-reflection time over. And she writes adult romance books, and they're really fun and hilarious. My favorite series by her is the Neighbors from Hell series, and that's what this book is a part of. This is the 4th book. Yep, the 4th book in the Neighbors from Hell series, and it just kind of tells the history of the Bradfords and where they came from and how they are what they are, and it's set in the 1800s, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun and it was really funny. I just love this series. My favorite book out of this series is the 2nd novel, which is called Perfection. If you've not picked up that book and you love adult romance, go pick it up. It is perfection. I love it to death. It's one of my all-time favorites. Next book that I read this month is another romance book, of course, and it is so good, you guys. I love this book so much. I love the series. I already know it's going to be one of my favorites. It is so good. Okay, let me stop gushing. It is Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. I loved this series. It's a paranormal adult romance, and it's amazing. It is so cool. It's about vampires that are really different than your normal vampires, and they have this society where they're fighting these things called lessers, which are these soulless beings that their only motive is to kill vampires, and it's just so good. It's so good. 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. Oh, I didn't tell you how many stars I gave the other books, but it's been a 5 out of 5 stars month. Kind of month. Oh, come on, internet. Don't be so slow. The next book that I read this month was Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. I will have a review up for this for sure. I filmed a review on Dark Lover too, but it again just didn't turn out how I wanted it. I gushed too much and I don't like that. But Scarlet's review turned out really good and I really liked it, so it will be uploaded and you'll get to know more of my thoughts about this book. But just know that I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a lot better than Cinder, and I'm so excited to pick up Cress because everyone's telling me that that one's the best one, and I just have a major crush on Captain Thorn and Wolf. I really like Wolf. I like Wolf more than Kai. I said it. Hate me all you want, but Wolf is better in my opinion. The next book that I read with a couple of my friends. One of them being Lindsay, who's obviously my BFF. You already know that because I talk about her all the time, but she's one of my best friends and she has an amazing channel. I'll link it down below. It's just really awesome. And then also I read this with Chris, who's really cool, and I'll link his channel down below too if you've not checked it out. He reads a lot of Stephen King and fantasy, so if that's your thing, go check out his channel. The book that I read with them was, drumroll please, Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Stormlight archives, and this is my huge torn up edition that I'm so mad that's torn up because it's signed and now it looks like I've had it for 15 million years, but that's okay. Books need to show love sometimes, just not when they're prized possessions and you want them to be loved and forever held, but yeah. Anyways, this is the second book, like I said, in the Stormlight archives, which if you've not heard is Brandon Sanderson's epic fantasy, and let me tell you, it's pretty damn epic. It is so freaking good. It's so good. I love this series. It's literally everything that I could ever want in a book. I'm not even kidding. If this book, I can't even talk about it. It's just so much, so much. If you've not picked up any Brandon Sanderson's books, do it. He is my book god. He is everything that I aspire to be as a writer, as a reader, as anything. He's amazing. He's freaking amazing, and this book deserves all of the hype and the attention and just the amazingness of it. And don't let the page number fool you. It takes you like 5 minutes to read it. I mean, we read this book in a record-breaking speed. We read this book in a week. In 1 week, we've read 1,200. This book has 1,282 pages, and we read it in a week. It took me and Lindsay to read Wave Kings a whole month. It took us to read Wave Kings. So a week was amazing for us, and it was so much fun to read it. And that was with me working. We were all working. We all worked, and we read it still. So if you're nervous about it, don't be nervous. This is an amazing series. It's high fantasy, high amazing writing. High amazing. That doesn't make sense. It's amazing writing. So much goes on. So much towards Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere's in this book, and it's just phenomenal. I highly recommend it. I cannot say how much I recommend this book. It is freaking, there's no words how amazing it is. So go pick it up. Wave Kings is just as awesome, but this one is like 5 times better, which you never think is possible with Brandon Sanderson's writing, but it just keeps getting better. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna go insane, okay? Also, when is the third book coming out again? When is my book coming out? Never. That's when. Okay. Calm down, Sarah. The next book that I read this month was the second book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, Lover Eternal. This is so good. This was amazing. I had problems with the characters, don't get me wrong. They were a little bit different than what I was expecting, but I really enjoy this series. I love the world. It's so much fun. It was the best book to get me out of a book hangover that was coming on with this bad boy, so I just really enjoyed it, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Oh my god, I have the burps. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars too, if you didn't know that, which you probably did, but I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. Actually, I gave this a 10 out of 5 stars, so that doesn't matter. What are we talking about? Okay, the next book that I read, the last book that I read this month, and the last one that I'll probably finish this month is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. This is my first attachments book. What the hell? It's my first Rainbow Rowell book, and I really liked it. I'm not a huge chick lit fan, and I ended up giving this book a 4 stars because it was a little slow moving for me. I just didn't find any parts really exciting, but overall it was such a cute story, and it was so different than anything that I've read before, and I just really enjoyed it. I did. The characters were refreshing, the humor in this was really refreshing, and the writing style was really beautiful. Well, beautiful is the right word, maybe not beautiful, but it was very easy to read. So I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars, and I recommend if you've not picked this up, which I'm sure you have, pick it up because you like it. Okay, that's all the books that I have read this month. That gives me a grand total of like 7 or 8, I think, which is pretty good, I would say, for reading Brandon Sanderson's book in the middle. I think that's actually pretty damn good. Okay. Let's quickly go on to my TBR for August. August, I set a TBR because me and Lindsay have a bunch of books that we are planning on reading, and there's a bunch of books that I want to read this month. I'm also going to be participating in the Yearathon, which is a middle grade read-along that's going on next month. It starts like August 4th. I don't know any details. I'm going to have to link videos down below or something. I can't find any details. Lindsay's just feeding them to me because I'm incompetent at the internet. But let me just quickly go into the books that I'll be reading. The first one is The Cursor's Fury by Jim Butcher. Of course, me and Lindsay are reading the series together, so we are moving on to book number 3. We've heard that it's the best book yet, and we're really hoping that it is because the other 2 books are just kind of iffy for us, so we're hoping this one picks up the pace for the rest of the books. The next book that I'm going to be reading is Red Seas Under Red Skies by Locke Lamore. Me and Sana and Lindsay are planning on reading this. I'm not sure if we're going to get to it this month, but we're planning on reading it together, so hopefully we can get to it this month. And this is the second book in the Locke Lamore series. Did I already say that? I think I did. And I'm really excited about this one. I hope it involves pirates because there's pirates on the cover, but I really want a pirate fantasy, and no one can find me a good pirate fantasy. Please let me know if you have any good pirate fantasies down below. Please let me know. The The next book is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Me and Lindsay have a deal that every month we're going to be reading books that we both love. Like, she recommends me books and I recommend her books, so we can get a better idea of what kind of books we love, and just so that way we can both experience books that each other loves. So this book is her pick for this month, and she really loves this book, so of course I'm going to read it. Everybody loves this book though, so I need to read it anyway, but I'm really excited to pick it up. Next book that I'll be picking up is Crest by Marissa Meyer. This is the third and not final book of the Lunar Chronicles. I'm really excited to pick this up. I really like Cinder, and I just cannot wait to move on with the series and find out what all the hype is about this book. Faster, faster. Okay, another thing that Lindsay's doing for me is picking a number. I put all of my books in a spreadsheet and asked her to pick a number for me, so that way I can read a book off my TBR list every single month, and kind of like a TBR jar, but instead of like cutting up all the pieces, I just have her pick a number. It's way easier for me. And the book that she chose this month was Legend by Marie Lu, and I'm going to be reading this. It's pretty short, so I'm hoping I can get to it pretty quickly, and I've heard good things. She said it's good, so I need to not have a mental block anymore. The last book that I have is yet another book that me and Lindsay are reading together. I'm telling you that we read all the books together, so I'm just preparing you for this. Probably should just link our channels together, because we're pretty much reading the same things at all times. But the next book that we'll be picking up is The Blade Itself by Jo Abercrombie. This is the first book in the First Law trilogy, and I'm literally so excited for this. I don't even know what it's about, but it sounds just freaking amazing. It looks amazing, and I've been eyeing this and wanting to read it for so long. I'm hoping it doesn't disappoint. I'm just so excited. The pages feel like heaven, and the cover feels like heaven, and I'm just so excited to read it. It even does not smell. It doesn't smell at all, but that's okay. Books don't have to smell to be good, Sarah. Though when books smell, they're better. I'm really excited to pick this up, and if you've read it, please let me know your thoughts down below, because I've never heard anything about it. I've heard that it's got like at least 4 stars on Goodreads, so that's good, but I just haven't heard much about it, so please let me know. Whew! I hope my camera did not die while filming this. Let's just cross our fingers that I got through all that without it dying. I will be reading a couple of audiobooks too if you're curious. I have started The Help and Pride and Prejudice audiobooks, and I want to finish them sometime between this month, between August and September. I'm also going to be reading the Cursor Fury on audiobook, because that way I can read it a lot quicker, and I love reading audiobooks while also reading the books. It's one of my favorite pastimes ever. So those are the books that I'll be reading on audiobook. If I have so many audiobooks that I can start more, I'll probably end up picking those up, but not in the near future, just kind of down the road. I will be making a separate TBR video for my readathon. Yearathon TBR will be created separately, and then I'll probably do a wrap up for that, just because it's a whole separate thing. But just know it's middle grade, so if you are looking for some middle grade or want to know what I'm reading during that yearathon, then just stay tuned for that. I promise it'll be up soon. And yeah, that's all I have for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Comment down below if you want any reviews. I will review books. It just depends on how they're going to turn out. Comment down below for video ideas, anything that you want to say. Comment down below the books that you read this month, or link me your channel so that way I can watch your wrap-up video, and tell me what books you plan on reading next month. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. I hope you're doing well. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! My lips are so dry. Bye!